Welcome back. Today we join a solitary builder as he establishes a permanent foothold in the deep forest before the heavy rains arrive. He begins by laying out a sturdy timber frame directly on the uneven ground. Squaring the first corner dictates the geometry of the entire build. Precision early prevents failure later. Moving down to the water source, the first priority is harnessing the stream's kinetic energy. Overhanging bamboo must be cleared to prevent leaves from clogging the intake. A concrete diversion channel, molded into a spiral vortex, funnels the natural flow into a concentrated pressure point. Removing the accumulated silt and debris ensures maximum water volume reaches the center drain. Smooth, unobstructed concrete reduces friction and turbulence. The spiral design accelerates the water mass naturally, transforming a lazy current into a powerful rotational force. Consistent head pressure is the engine of off-grid power. The metal turbine assembly seats directly into the vortex. As the focused water strikes the impeller blades, mechanical rotation is converted into an electrical current. Bare copper wires are stripped and bound to the socket terminals. A single LED provides immediate proof of concept. The system works. Routing the current indoors transforms the shelter. Securing a proper wall plate protects the connections from ambient moisture. Overhead lighting extends the workable hours long. after the sun drops behind the canopy. With light secured, heat is the next necessity. Flat, dense river stones form the foundation of an indoor hearth. Mud acts as a natural mortar, filling the irregular voids between the rocks. As the clay dries and bakes from future fires, it hardens into a rigid, fireproof bond. The heavy stone base will absorb thermal energy and radiate it outward through the night. The first harvest from the stream requires immediate processing. Rinsing the fresh catch in moving water clears away river silt and scale debris before cooking. Heavy metal cookware cast over the mud stove retains a high, even heat for frying. Foraging leafy greens near the bank provides essential micronutrients to balance the lean protein of the fish. Washing the vegetables under the bamboo aqueduct removes lingering grit. In the quiet of the illuminated cabin, the meal represents a vital calorie surplus. Energy expended during construction is finally replenished. The following day begins with upgrading the sleeping quarters. Elevating the bed frame off the dirt floor is critical for insulation. Ground conduction steals body heat rapidly during the night. Wide wooden planks distribute weight evenly across the joists, creating a solid platform. A thick cloth layer blocks drafts from rising through the timber gaps. Comfort here is directly tied to survival efficiency. construction shifts to a larger, permanent structure anchored by a massive stone foundation. Timber sill plates rest directly on the masonry, keeping the structural wood away from soil moisture and rot. The builder utilizes a handsaw and chisel to cut precise mortise-style notches into the beams. These interlocking joints handle shear stress much better than simple butt joints, locking the framework together mechanically. Hibbospan, driving a nail through the completed notch, binds the assembly into a single, rigid skeleton capable of carrying a heavy roof load. Enclosing the framing requires a continuous skin of horizontal planking. Cutting each board to exact length ensures the ends break directly over the vertical studs, providing a solid backing for the nails. Staggering these seams across different studs adds immense lateral strength to the wall, preventing the cabin from racking under high winds. Running a hand plane along the edges of the timber removes rough fibers and creates a uniform, flush surface. Tight tolerances between the boards keep out drafts and climbing insects. The overhead rafters receive a tightly spaced layer of decking. Wood alone cannot stop persistent tropical rain, so a heavy synthetic tarp provides an impermeable moisture barrier. Stretching the material taut prevents water from pooling in low spots, forcing it to shed rapidly off the eaves. On the exterior, a vertical trim piece covers the vulnerable quarter seams, where the wall planks meet. Securing robust metal hinges to the door frame finalizes the structure. An operational door means total control over the internal environment. The shelter is complete. With the perimeter secured, focus shifts to long-term sustenance. Breaking up the compacted forest floor, with a heavy hoe aerates the dense dirt, introducing oxygen vital for root development. The heavy clay is turned and pulverized into a workable loam. Setting a rigid border of large, flat stones does more than define the space. The rock wall acts as a retaining barrier, preventing the loose, nutrient-rich topsoil from washing away into the nearby stream during heavy downpours. Each stone is bedded deep into a shallow trench to resist the outward pressure of the wet earth. Surrounding the plot with thermal mass also slightly warms the soil overnight. A defined agricultural zone brings order to the wild landscape. Slicing seed potatoes into pieces triggers rapid propagation, provided each chunk contains at least one viable eye. Pressing them firmly into the turned earth establishes vital contact with soil moisture. Smoothing the surface lightly covers the seeds without suffocating them under heavy, compacted dirt. The dark, porous soil is now a perfect incubator. Small onion bulbs follow, pressed down in neat, linear rows. Organized spacing prevents the mature root systems from competing for limited water and nitrogen. Consistent depth ensures they sprout evenly across the bed. By nightfall, the property has transformed into a functioning homestead. Resting on the porch allows the craftsman to monitor the sounds of the surrounding forest. The perimeter is quiet.
làm trời ơi.
Days later, the water infrastructure requires reinforcement. Draping a thick plastic sheet over the upstream face of the stone dam creates an impermeable membrane. While stacked stones break the current, they cannot hold water pressure alone. The hydrostatic force of the flowing stream actually works to the builder's advantage here, pinning the plastic tightly against the rocks to form a watertight seal. Driving a wooden stake into the muddy bank anchors the edge against sudden surges. The garden yields its first leafy greens. Submerging the harvest in the cold, running stream flushes out insects and fine soil trapped in the dense mustard leaves. Clean produce is essential to avoid ingesting waterborne parasites. The woven bamboo tray allows the water to drain freely. Back on the cabin floor, a heavy wooden pestle crushes raw aromatics into a dense paste. Grinding ruptures the cellular walls of the ingredients, releasing potent volatile oils. Rolling the paste into tight spheres prepares it for long-term storage. Fishing the calm eddies near the bank produces a substantial catch. Transferring the heavy fish immediately into a woven bamboo basket keeps the meat cool and protected from scavengers. Submerging the bottom of the basket in the shallow current creates an improvised live well. The flowing water continuously supplies oxygen to the gills, keeping the catch fresh until it can be properly smoked or salted. Efficient storage eliminates waste. Finding bait requires searching the damp crevices where grubs and insects hide. A long, flexible section of bamboo serves as a natural rod. Wrapping a green, pliable vine tightly around the tip provides a secure anchor point that won't snap under sudden tension. The natural sap in the vine acts as a mild adhesive, locking the knot in place as it dries. Casting into the murky pool requires patience. The dense water conceals the line, encouraging larger predatory fish to strike from the shadows. Returning to camp, a massive outdoor fire pit is prepped. Crisscrossing the thick branches leaves intentional air gaps throughout the woodpile, drawing a steady draft of oxygen into the core. The stone walls reflect radiant heat back inward, accelerating the combustion cycle. Soon, the intense thermal updraft consumes the dry fuel entirely. The surrounding bamboo groves offer an abundance of starchy calories, provided they are processed correctly. The tough, fibrous outer sheaths must be peeled away to reveal the tender, edible core inside. Raw bamboo contains toxic cyanogenic glycosides, so cutting them near the water allows for immediate soaking and boiling, later to neutralize the bitter compounds. Packing the clean shoots into a basket maximizes the hauling capacity for the long hike ahead. Moving deeper into the primary forest, the terrain becomes steep and muddy. The dense canopy blocks out most direct sunlight, resulting in a humid, slippery understory dominated by ferns and decaying organic matter. Navigation here relies on reading the subtle contours of the ridgeline rather than following marked trails. A major protein source changes the entire dynamic of off-grid survival. Securing a large wild boar requires immediate field dressing and transport before the heat and humidity spoil the meat. The heavy animal is wrestled into a custom-woven back basket which positions the massive weight high across the shoulders. Distributing the load close to the spine prevents the carrier from losing balance on the treacherous, uneven ground. Packing heavy game through thick vegetation and running streams demands immense physical endurance. The rushing water offers a clear, albeit slippery, corridor through the dense brush, minimizing the risk of snagging the wide basket on thorns or low branches. The exertion is extreme, but the caloric reward guarantees long-term food security for the coming months. Muscle and willpower convert raw wilderness into a sustainable larder. Back near the compound, a standing dead tree provides the perfect source of seasoned firewood. Scraping away the punky, waterlogged outer bark reveals the dense, dry heartwood beneath. Standing timber naturally sheds rainwater, meaning the core remains highly combustible even in a damp environment. Processing a fallen log directly over the stream utilizes the water as a natural workbench, letting the sawdust wash away harmlessly. In the end, structure, landscape, and daily routine operate as one system. It is a place that produces, protects, and sustains itself. Nothing goes to waste.